Hello, thank you so much for joining me. Today's practice is going to focus on being in this moment. So why do we do yoga? We do yoga for a lot of reasons. Sometimes we want to get more flexible, sometimes certain body parts are hurting us and we want to try to feel better, so we do yoga for that reason. Sometimes we want to just get centered and calm the mind. So our practice today is going to be more on that sort. We're going to go through all the poses that we would normally do in a class, but we're going to focus on our breath to really keep us in this moment. So when life is pulling you this way and that way, and you're watching the news and you don't know even what to think anymore, that's how I've been lately. I don't even know what to think anymore about anything. I need to really get at peace with myself and just be in this moment, and everything will be fine. It's all working out the way it's supposed to be. I know it's kind of hard to think like that sometimes, but we just want to be in this moment. We want to feel our breath. So we're going to sit tall. We're going to start this practice sitting. I am sitting on a block, but sit whatever is comfortable for you. And just make a few movements. So move kind of side to side, move the hips, move the shoulders, move the head, move the neck. So just getting comfy in this seated position, as comfy as you could get. And start to let those little movements, those little adjustments, side to side, forward and back, adjust the clothing if you need to. Let those start to get a little bit smaller. And then just either gazing down at the floor or closing the eyes, we're just going to feel the breath. So we're going to feel the breath come in through the nose, feel the breath go out through the nose. And just seeing what the quality of the breath is in this moment. What kind of quality are you feeling of the breath? So we use this breath as a measurement, as a yardstick, if you will, to how we're feeling, to how we're dealing with things, to how present, to how focused, to how much in this moment we are, or are we distracted somewhere else? So as you feel that breath coming in and out, let's let the breath, the inhale, be the same as the exhale. So maybe inhaling for a count of 3, and exhaling for a count of 3, and let that inhale and exhale mirror each other. It doesn't matter how high the number is that you count to, but just that the inhale and the exhale are equal. So we're just letting this evenness, this equanimity come into the breath. When it comes into the breath, it comes into the mind. When it comes into the mind, it starts to infuse into the body. So a couple more of those equal inhales and exhales. And then we'll blink the eyes a few times and open the eyes back up. We're going to go into a seated twist. So we'll have the right hand come behind us. We're going to inhale the left arm up. Exhale, relax the left shoulder down. Inhale again, and with your exhale, we're going to turn to the right and let that left hand rest on the right leg. So just wherever it wants to rest, not so much that you're having to pull yourself to go into the twist. We're going to breathe into the low belly, let the shoulders relax, let the chin be level with the floor. Inhale deep into the low belly. Exhale, release any tension. One more nice, deep, slow inhale. And a nice exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to turn back to the front, hands on the legs. And we're going to go to the other side. So left hand's going to come behind you or beside you. Inhale the right hand up. Exhale, relax right shoulder down. Inhale again. With your exhale, we're turning, twisting to the left. Let the right hand come to the left leg. Wherever it's comfortable, sitting nice and tall, long spine. Breathe into the low belly. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. So just feel the breath. Feel the difference between this side and the first side. Be in this moment. Be present. What are you feeling? One more nice inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to come back to center. Good. Right hand's going to come down beside you. We're going to go into a side bend. We're going to inhale that left hand up. Exhale, relax left shoulder down. Inhale again. On your exhale, we're going to lean over to the right. So your left arm is over the left ear. Press the left sitting bone down so we get this nice stretch on the left side. Big breaths. If it feels okay, bring the left hand to the back of the head and gently lean the head into the hand. So a big stretch in that shoulder feels good. Good, nice and slow. Inhale, come up. We'll bring the left hand down. We'll keep those left fingers down. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, relax right shoulder down. Inhale again. On your exhale, we're leaning to the left. So lean over to the left. Big stretch on the right side. Press your right sitting bone down into the mat. Big breaths. If it feels okay, bring the right hand to the back of the head and gently lean the head into the hand. Feel that in the shoulder. Feel that in the rib cage. Big breaths. Nice and slow. Inhale, bring the right hand up, and exhale, bring the right hand down. Very good. All right, we're going to come on to hands and knees. So if you had a block there or a cushion or a blanket, scoot that off to the side. If you need any extra padding under the knees, grab a blanket or a towel. If you're not, I'm on carpet, so it feels okay to my knees here. We're going to be in table pose. So we want our fingers spread nice and wide apart. The index fingers parallel to each other. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're just going to stay here in this table pose for a moment. Let the belly pull in and up. So we've got a nice strong core. The neck is long. We're looking down at the mat. So a nice long neck. And then let everything pull into the midline. So isometrically, the hands slide in towards each other. The arms slide in towards each other. The knees and thighs slide in towards each other. The belly button pulls in and up. So we're just hugging everything into the midline. Good. And then relax all of that. We're going to go into our cat-cow pose. Exhale, round the spine up. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Let's take one more of those. Exhale, round the spine up, pull the belly button up. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch back, let the belly stretch. From here, we're going to shift back into child's pose. So maybe stacking the hands on top of each other, let the forehead rest on the hands or on the mat or on a block. Big breaths into the low back. Big breaths into the ribs, into the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to come back up into our hands and knees table. Good. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to go into an arm and leg balance. We're going to take it in stages. So being very present, being very in this moment in each stage. The wrists are right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. The right foot is going to stretch back. Toes curled under, toes on the mat. And just here, try to level the hips. Push that right heel back behind you. Let that right leg get nice and long from the right hip all the way down the leg through the bottom of the foot. Good. Now, nice and slow, try to keep the hips level. We're going to lift the right leg up. So I like to spread the toes of the right foot and push through the ball of the foot. Good. Try to level those hips. Now, we're going to take that left hand and just bring it forward a little bit and just the fingertips on the mat. So just holding here, just breathing, feel the body. Where are you feeling this part of the pose? The next thing we're going to do is with the left hand, we're going to bring the left hand to the heart center. Hold here and breathe. Good. And then the next one is we're going to take that left hand, we're going to reach it forward. Thumb is up towards the ceiling. Left fingers are spread, right toes are spread, and we're going to breathe. So this is great for the back, great for the core, great for the brain because we're working opposite sides of the body at the same time. It's Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Take a little free form movement. So you can go back into that cat-cow. You can rock side to side. You can rock forward and back. Just a little free form movement. Circle the wrists a little because we were on those wrists for a little while. We're going to do that whole little routine on the other side. So wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. The left leg is going to reach back. Left toes curled under. Push the left heel back behind you, and we're going to lengthen that left leg from the left hip all the way down the left leg through the bottom of the left foot. Good. Try to keep everything level, hips level as you lift that left leg up. Now, spread the left toes, push through the ball of the foot. Now we're going to take the right hand, reach it forward a little, and just the fingertips are on the floor. Hold and breathe. The next movement is the right palm is going to come to the heart center. Try to keep the hips level, belly button pulling in and up, neck long. We're not looking forward, we're looking down at the mat so that back of the neck is long. And the next movement, right arm stretches forward, right thumb up towards the ceiling. Spread the right fingers, spread the left toes. Breathe, balance, be very in this moment. Bring the right hand down, the left knee down. Take a little free form movement. You can take the cat-cow. You can rock forward and back, side to side. You can take a few wrist circles. And then we'll shift back into child's pose. Good. Couple breaths here. Wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Breathe into the low back, breathe into the rib cage, breathe into the shoulders. Good. We're going to come up to seated. So sitting back on the heels. If this doesn't feel good to the knees, you can come up into a high kneeling pose. If you're in the high kneeling pose, you're just going to reach back like this. If you're okay down on the knees, we're going to bring those hands back behind us. The fingertips just are tinted, like a little tint on the floor, just the fingertips. We're going to lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the whole front of the body. If it feels okay, we're going to try to lift the hips up. Good. So the big thigh stretch. Let the belly be soft. Don't let it puff out or puff up. Good. Breathing, and then exhale, come down nice and slow. We'll shift back into child's pose. Wobble the hips and shoulders a little side to side. Good. From child's pose, we're going to go into a downward dog. So stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go. Elbows up off the mat, but your bottom is still back by the heels. Now come up into your hands and knees. Walk the knees a little closer together. Look at the hands. Fingers spread nice and wide. Index fingers parallel to each other. We're going to curl the toes under. Inhale. With your exhale, lift up, shift back. Downward dog. Tuck the chin a little bit. So top of the head pointing towards the floor. Let's walk it out. One heel lowers, the other heel lowers, stretching out the backs of the legs. Press the floor away from you with the hands. So the arms get strong, the arms get long, spine is long. Good. Now come down to knees. Shift back into child's pose. A few wrist circles or wiggle the fingers. We can wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Couple breaths here. Good. We're going to take one more downward dog. Stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go. Elbows up off the mat. Come up into your hands and knees. Knees walk a little closer together. Fingers spread wide. Toes curl under. Inhale. With the exhale, lift up, shift back. Good. Breathing here. Belly button pulls in and up. You can put a little bend in the knees and lift the sits bones. Lift the tailbone a little higher. Head is right in between the arms. From this downward dog, we're going to go forward into a plank. So bring your shoulders over the wrist. You might have to scoot those toes back just a little bit. Push the floor away from you. Lift up between the shoulder blades. So we don't want to sink down. We don't want to sag. We want to push away from the floor. Belly button pulls in and up, and the tailbone tucks just a little bit. You're going to feel the
thighs engage, the thighs light up. And then we'll drop down to knees, shift back into child's pose. Good job. Wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Come back up into hands and knees table, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. 3 cat breaths. Exhale, round the spine up, pull that belly button up, tuck the chin. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch the back. 2 more. Exhale, round. Inhale and arch. Last one. Exhale, round the spine up. Inhale and arch. Good. Come to neutral. Curl the toes under. We're going to go back into squat pose. So walk the hands back till you're balancing on toes and fingertips. And then we're going to go into a standing forward fold. So we're going to lift the hips up, heels come down, widen the feet a little wider than the hips. Bring hands up to above the knees, lift the chest into a halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, belly button pulls in and up. Keep that little bend in the knees, that helps protect the low back. With strong legs and a long spine, we're gonna hinge all the way up to standing. Good, adjust the clothing, shake it out a bit. Good, we're gonna take a few sun breaths. So the feet hip width apart, pick up the toes, spread the toes out on the mat, try to set the toes down with a little bit of space. Weights even on both feet, right foot, left foot, but back of the foot and front of the foot as well. Arches lift just a little bit. Thighs engage, belly pulls in, belly pulls up. Take some sun breaths. Inhale, hands come up. And exhale, hands down. 2 more of those. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. 1 more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Good. So we'll stand in our Tadasana pose. It's also called mountain pose. It's the foundation of all standing poses. So what we feel in mountain pose, the weight even on the feet, we should feel in our other standing poses. The way we can feel and stay present with our breath, that's what the breath we should be feeling in our other standing poses. Although they become a little more challenging, we want to create the same feeling in those other poses. So we'll stand here in Tadasana pose. Fingers down, reaching towards the earth, belly pulls in and up a little bit, heart lifts a little, shoulders relax down. Let's bring the hands to the hips. We're going to go into a one-legged Tadasana. So when we go into that one-legged Tadasana, we don't want the hips to shift. So as I shift my weight into the left foot to lift the right leg, I don't want that right hip to drop, okay? So when I shift the weight into that left hip, I'm trying to keep hips level as I raise the right foot, okay? Same thing on the other side. When you bring the weight into the right foot, you don't want that left hip to drop, okay? So let's get really good and stable and steady on both feet, hands on the hips. We can kind of feel their evenness. Find a spot to focus on. Shift your weight into the left foot, but don't let that right hip drop. Now lift the right heel. Keep the hips level. When you're ready, you're going to lift that right foot up, and the hips try to stay level. Don't let that right hip lift too much or lower too much. Good, that core pulls in. Be very present. Be very in this moment. Breathe, balance, focus. Nice and slow, keep those hips level. Try to bring that right foot down. Nice. Adjust the feet. We're going to take it to the other side. So hands on the hips, try to feel that the hips are even and level. Shift the weight into the right foot as you lift the left heel. Try to keep those hips level as you lift the left foot up off the floor. It doesn't matter how high it lifts. We're trying to keep those hips level. Belly pulls in, belly pulls up. Chest, heart lifts. We don't want to collapse the front body. Big breaths. And then nice and slow, we'll bring that left foot down. Good. Drop the hands, shake out the arms. Separate the feet a little wider than the hips. We'll take a few little side swings. Let that opposite heel lift. So that releases the hips. This helps to loosen up the spine, relax the shoulders, lowers the blood pressure, tones and whittles the waistline, all kinds of good stuff just from this simple movement here. Okay. Now we're gonna take a Tadasana pose with a little bit of help from our hands. So I'm gonna turn around so that you can see me from the back. So feet hip width apart, engage the legs. We're gonna take the right hand and bring it to the back of the head, kind of just cradling the skull a little bit. And then the left hand is gonna be on the sacrum, so on the low back with the palm facing out. And then we're gonna lift the heart, lift the chest, bring the elbows back. So we're just expanding the front of the body. Good. We're lengthening the neck a little, so that right hand can kind of lift and lengthen the head and the neck. And we get that nice healthy curve in the low back. The left hand can feel that nice curve. Nice and slow, bring the left hand down, bring the right hand down. Good, shake it out. Good, and we're gonna take that with the opposite hands. So the left hand will come to the back of the head, kind of cradle on the bottom of the skull. The right hand will be on the low back with the palm facing out. Legs are nice and strong, feet are even. And we're gonna pull those elbows back a little bit. Lengthen the neck so that left hand can kind of just gently lengthen the neck and lift the head a little bit. That right hand on the low back feels the nice curve, supports that low back. We're opening the heart, opening the chest, lengthening, pull that belly in and up, nice and slow. We'll bring the right hand down. We'll bring the left hand down. Good, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. From here, we're gonna go into Warrior Two pose. So we're gonna step to the short edge of the mat, the front of the mat. I'm gonna step back with the left foot, and I have a little bit of space in between the feet. So I'm not lining up right heel and left heel, or right heel and left arch. There's a little bit of space in between the feet. I'm gonna bend the right knee over the heel, pull the right hip back, and shift the left hip forward. So my hips are not pointing over to the left, they're pointing towards the short edge of the mat. The front of the body is nice and long. Belly pulls in, belly pulls up. We're gonna take the fingertips together in front of us. And we're gonna exhale with those fingers together. And we're gonna inhale and open the fingers out wide. Exhale, bring the fingers together. Inhale and open the hands out. So just moving like that with the breath. Your right knee over the right heel, right knee opening out towards the right a little, and we're pushing through that left heel, through the whole back of the left leg. Inhale when the hands open, and exhale when the fingertips come together in the middle. Good. The next time the fingertips are in towards each other, let's drop the hands. We're going to go into a forward fold into what they call sometimes pyramid pose. So let's start with hands on the hips. We're still pulling that right hip back, squaring the left hip forward. We're going to hinge forward just about maybe 45 degrees, hinging forward. Keep the shoulders pulling back. The neck is long. And then we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. So if you want blocks here or a support under the hands, you can have that. You can also step that left foot in a little bit and see what feels good for you. Keep this right knee bent for a moment. Try to pull that right hip back. Good. Now, tuck the chin and start to straighten the right leg a little. It probably won't go all the way straight, at least mine doesn't. We're going to work the whole back of this right leg. So the right foot isometrically pushes down and forward. And at the same time, the right hip pulls back. So we can really feel this stretch on the back of the right leg. Keep breathing. Neck is relaxed, so you might just move the head a little bit. Big breaths. Belly pulls in and up. Now rebend that right knee quite a bit. right knee over the right heel. We're going to push off with the left foot into a standing forward fold. Good. Bring hands up to above the knees. Lift the chest into a halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and we're going to come into chair pose. So lift the chest. Bring the arms now down by your side. Palms face each other. Reach the hands back behind you and squeeze the shoulder blades together. The weight is in the heels and the toes are light, so these legs are really getting some work here. Good. Now you can stay here with the arms down by your side, reaching back, or you can inhale and bring the arms up overhead. Palms face, shoulders relax down. Toes are light. Weight is in the heels, belly pulls in and up. Don't collapse the front of the body. We're not leaning forward. We're lifting the heart, lifting the chest. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms at your side and shake it out. We're going to take that whole little series from warrior two to pyramid to chair on the other side. So we're stepping towards the front of the mat. Right foot is going to step back. I have some space in between my feet. Right toes are angled out to the right. I'm going to bend the left knee over the left heel. Left hip pulls back, right hip squares forward. Good, big breaths. The whole front of the body open and lifting. I'm not collapsing, shoulders moving back, heart, belly pulling in and up. One more time, we're going to bring those fingertips together. That's the exhale. We're going to inhale, open the hands out, and exhale, bring the hands together. So this is working the shoulders, working the arms, working the chest. At the same time, we're working the lower body. So we exhale, we bring the fingertips together. We inhale, we open up. Feel that movement in the shoulders, in the upper back, even in the front of the shoulders here. Good. Keep that left knee over the left heel, left knee opening out to the left a little bit, left hip pulling back. Next time the fingertips come together. Good, we'll drop the hands. We're going to go into that pyramid pose. So hands to the hips. Keep the whole front body nice and long. Exhale and just hinge forward at an angle. Good. And now we're going to bring the fingertips all the way to the mat. So you can be up on blocks. You can step that right foot closer if you like. See where it feels good. Keep this little bend in the left knee. Now tuck the chin, relax the neck. Nice and slow, start to straighten that left leg a bit. So we're pushing that left foot firm into the floor and isometrically sliding it forward as the left hip slides back, pulls back. So we get this nice stretch all on the back of the left leg. Isometrically push that left foot down and forward as the left hip slides back. Big breaths. You might even feel that leg shake a little. My leg is shaking a little bit. Let's rebend that left knee nice. The left knee over the left heel. Push off with the right foot. Step forward into a bent leg forward fold. Bring hands up to above the knees. Lift the chest into a halfway lift and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice and strong. Feet and legs. We're going to come all the way up into chair pose. Drop the arms down by your side. And then reach the hands back, weight in the heels, toes are light, belly pulls in, belly pulls up, heart lifts, neck is long. This is a modified chair pose. Great for the legs, great for the back muscles, great for opening up the front of the body. So you can stay here with the arms down by your side, reaching back, or you can inhale, lift arms up by the ears, relax the shoulders down. Keep pulling that belly in and up. Keep the heart lifting, keep the weight in the heels. Nice steady breaths. So feel that breath where you were in Tadasana pose, mountain pose. Get that breath here in chair pose. Nice and slow. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms come down by your side. Very nice. Shake it out. Separate the feet a little wider than the hips. We'll take a few side swings. Good. Let that opposite heel lift. Belly pulls in and up. Shoulders relax. Let everything come back to normal. The breath. the energy. Good. We're going to go into Warrior Two pose. So wide leg stance on your mat. Right toes are going to turn to the right. Left heel shifts back a little bit. Now here we do want to line up the right heel. If we draw a line, it's going to intersect the left arch. Bend your right knee over the heel. That right knee opens out towards the right edge of the mat. Actually, the hip and the thigh open out towards that right edge of the mat. Press through the left heel, the outside edge of the left foot, and lift the left arch. Hips are level. Good. We're going to take the hands together like we did in that Warrior One. So the fingertips are together. That's the exhale. And inhale, we're going to open the arms out. So exhale, bringing them together. Inhale, opening them out. So imagine you're gathering peace and calm. You're gathering it in, and then you're offering it out to the world. So we're just very present. We're very in the now. We're cultivating peace and contentment. We bring it in, and then we give it out and share it with the world. Good. Exhale, we bring it in. Inhale, we open up. Good. The next time we exhale, let's bring the hands in. We're going to keep them in. So just cultivating, just holding that peace, that calm, that tranquility, that equanimity. Good. And we're going to straighten the right knee, drop the arms, parallel the feet. We're going to take that to the other side. So left toes point out to the left, right heel shifts back. Check that heel and arch again. So if we draw a line from the left heel, intersects the right arch. Bend the left knee over the heel. We're going to open that left hip, left thigh, left knee out towards the left side of the mat or towards your left pinky toe. Press on the outside edge of the right foot, lift the right arch. So strong right leg. Don't let that right knee bend or collapse. We're pushing that right thigh, right calf back behind us. Good. Hips are level. We're going to inhale. Bring the arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Let's turn those palms up. So inhale, exhale, we're going to bring the fingertips together. Good, just like we did before. Inhale, we're opening up. So exhale, cultivating, bringing that calm right to our center. Inhale, sharing our calm, sharing our peace with the world. Exhale, bring the fingertips in. Inhale, open up. Legs are strong, belly pulls in and up. Good. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Exhale, come in. Inhale, open. This time we're going to leave the palms open. We're holding, we're balancing this peace, this present moment. In this moment. Good. Feel the arms. Feel the weight they're holding. Feel the palms. Good. Exhale, drop the arms, straighten the left knee, parallel the feet. We're going to go into a standing forward fold. So feet parallel. Keep the spine nice and long. Arches lift. We're going to hinge from the hips. So inhale first. Exhale, we hinge forward from the hips. Bring the fingertips down to the floor. Maybe widen the feet or bending the knees. To get those hands down on the floor. Let the neck relax. Maybe a few little, shake the head a little bit. Good. And then walk the hands over to the right foot. And just a nice stretch. Nice little side stretch. Walk the hands back to center. Walk them over to the left foot. Nice little stretch. Strong legs. Good. Walk the hands back to center. Ankle the toes, so let the toes go out and the heels come in. Bend your knees, bring hands up to the knees and lift up into a wide leg stance with bent knees, so sometimes called horse stance. So the arches are lifting, we press on the outside edges of the feet, the knees open wide, we get a nice stretch on the inner thigh. We'll go into goddess pose, so inhale, arms to shoulder level, exhale, relax the shoulders, bend the elbows. Elbows in line with the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. A little tuck of the tail, heart lifts, belly pulls in and up. Good. Now we're going to go into a goddess twist. Bring the hands down to the thighs, up above the knees. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring the left shoulder forward. We're going to go into a little twist. So we're twisting to the right. Take that left hand and open the left knee, the left thigh away from you. Good. Make sure the toes are nice and relaxed. They're not gripping, they're not clenching. Few breaths here. Inhale, come to center, and then exhale, bring the right shoulder towards the center. So we're twisting to the left with that right shoulder forward. The right hand on the right leg is going to push that right thigh, right knee away from you. So a nice big stretch on the right hip and leg. Big breaths. Good. Inhale, come to center. Straighten the legs. Heel toe the feet in. Good. And then just shake out the arms, shake out the legs. We're going to come down to seated. So you can either sit on a cushion, a blanket. I'm going to sit on a block, and we're going to take that cushion or a blanket or a block, and we're going to put it between the knees, between the thighs, and then we're going to sit on that. So it's a nice stretch for the front of the thighs. So we're just going to sit here for a moment and feel the breath. We want to really get in touch with the breath. So the breath, remember, it's kind of our measuring stick. Not only our measuring stick in yoga of how we're feeling, how we're doing in the pose, but also our measuring stick in daily activities when we have to go to work, when we have to deal with family, when we have to deal with the bills. It's our measuring stick. Are we breathing? So we're going to kind of use our hands to get in touch with the breath. Okay? So we're going to exhale, bring the palms up. We're going to exhale and bring the hands up as if that air is coming up and out of the body. And then inhale, turn the palms down as we're bringing that breath. It comes in through the nose and comes down into the belly. Good. Exhale, palms up, hands lift. Inhale, palms down. We're bringing that breath down into the belly, down into the body. Exhale, the breath comes up and out through the nose. Inhale, the breath comes in through the nose and down into the body. So just a few more of these at your own pace. Exhale, hands come up. Inhale, hands go down. Feel the breath, feel the body. Good. After your next inhale, those hands are going to come down. We'll scoot off of the block or the cushion or the blanket. We're going to come down to seated. So sit with the knees bent, feet in front of you, hands on the knees. A few seated cat breaths so we're even on the sits bones. We're going to inhale, sit tall, lengthen the spine. Exhale, round back, tuck the chin, pull the belly in. Inhale, sit tall, lengthen. Exhale, rounding back. Arms go straight, chin tucks, spine rounds. Inhale, sit tall. You can let the knees open a little bit. Exhale, round back. Let's take one more of those. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, round back. Good. We're going to go into Tadasana Pose, staff pose. So stretch the feet out in front of you. We're going to pull the hips back just a little bit. So the flesh of the buttocks, we're going to pull them back. Put a little bend in the knees. That little bend in the knees is going to keep a nice little curve in the low back. So what we don't want in this pose is to round, is to slump. That's bad for the low back. So we want this nice little curve in the low back. So put a little bend in the knees. The feet are flexed, toes up towards the ceiling. Good. Hold here and breathe. Hands come down by your side. Good. So staying here with this little bend in the knees because it's still working all the backs of the legs. You've got the pelvis, the hips are tilting forward a little bit. Instead of tilting back and rounding, we're tilting those hips forward a little bit. If it feels okay, you can straighten one leg and then the other, or you can straighten both. If you straighten both and you start to round, then you just need to bend the knees and press those sits bones down into the floor. So it looks like we're doing nothing, but this is really working the legs. Like we can really feel all of this working. Good. and then come out of that, lean back on the hands, separate the feet a little bit, and just windshield wiper the feet. So that's really strengthening for the legs. Gonna come all the way down onto our back. Good, hug the knees into the chest. We'll roll side to side. So just rolling shoulders and hips. You can let the back of the head roll on the mat if you like. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We'll bring the feet down to the mat. And we're going to go into bridge pose. So we're not going to go into a super big bridge pose. It's going to be like a low bridge. But we just want to feel all the parts of the body we're using. We want to feel the breath. We want to be very present. We want to be very in the moment. So the feet are going to be about hip width apart. Walk the feet back towards your hips. So kind of like the knees are over your heels. Arms at your side. Let's start with palms up. I like palms up because it opens the heart, it opens the front of the shoulders. When the palms are down, the shoulders kind of roll in, and when the palms are up, the shoulders roll open. So the whole front of the chest opens. So we're going to lift with our breath. Inhale first. Exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. Now inhale, lead with the tailbone, lift up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time, so it's not a super high bridge. Backs of the hands, backs of the arms pressing into the floor. We can tuck the shoulders under just a bit. If you like, belly stays soft, bottom slightly firm, knees are parallel. And we're just going to feel rooted down through the feet, rooted down through the backs of the arms, through the shoulders. So we root down so that we can rise, so that we can move up, so we can grow up. So with anything, we have to root down. We have to be steady and stable so we can rise above. We're going to lower down with breath. Inhale, exhale, lengthen and lower down. One vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Once your hips are all the way down, hug knees into the chest, and we'll roll side to side a couple times. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. We're going to go into a spinal twist before we go into our final relaxation. So stretch the left leg out on the mat. We're going to bring the right knee in. Right arm at your side, left hand on the right knee. Both feet are flexed. Inhale, with your exhale, bring the right knee over to the left. So we're kind of rolling onto that left hip. Your right palm turns up, right shoulder stays down on the mat. So adjust that upper body if you need to get that right shoulder down on the mat, or bring the right knee a little higher to keep that right shoulder down on the mat. Big breaths into the low belly. Both feet are flexed. That helps the legs to keep integrity in the legs, keep those calves getting a nice stretch. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. And then the head can stay centered, looking straight up, or you can look over either shoulder, whatever feels best to your neck. What we're really focusing on is those big belly breaths. That's the most important part of the twist. So feel the breath, feel the body. Where are you feeling the twist on this side? Just notice, just observe. Inhale, bring the right knee up. Exhale, right foot to the floor. We'll bend both knees, both feet on the floor. Adjust hips and shoulders so you're even. And then right leg stretches out, left knee comes in. Left arm at your side, right hand on the left knee, both feet flexed. Inhale, with your exhale, we're going to roll onto the right hip. So we take that left knee over to the right. Left shoulder stays down on the mat, left palm up. So you can adjust that upper body or bring the left knee a little higher to keep that left shoulder down. Big breaths. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. Keep the feet flexed so that the legs are still nice and strong and part of the pose. We still have the muscles in the legs working here. Let the neck be comfortable, whether you're looking straight up or over either shoulder. Big breaths. Where do you feel this pose on this side? Good. Nice and slow. We're going to inhale, left knee up. Exhale, left foot to the floor. Bend both knees, both feet on the floor. Just hips and shoulders. Let's bring both knees into the chest. Good. Hug the knees, roll side to side. Bring the knees to center. Keep the knees together. And we're going to circle both knees in the same direction. So nice and slow. Little circular massage on the low back. Let's take the knees in the opposite direction. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. Don't let the back arch. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. And then we'll set up for our final relaxation. So maybe you want the knees bent. Maybe you want the legs stretched out. Maybe you want a blanket roll or pillows under the knees. You can be in constructive rest, knees together, feet a little wide. You can be in reclined cobbler's pose, bottoms of the feet together, knees open. And then whatever position you want for the arms. I'm going to go into cactus arms here. So I'm going to bring the hands up. You can have the arms out in a T position. Whatever feels good to the upper body, whatever feels good to the lower body. The most important thing is you want to scan the body, and if you're holding tension anywhere, you want to readjust so that there's no tension anywhere in the body. The muscles are relaxed. Each breath we let go just a little bit more. Inhale, we feel the belly rise. Exhale, we feel the belly fall. We just take on a little bit of stillness here. So we've moved, we've stretched, we've twisted, we've folded, and now it's time to be still and breathe. Be present. Just be in this moment. Whatever it brings. Remembering to breathe. So the breathing that we practice on the mat, we take off the mat when we have to go into our everyday life. We bring that focus and that breath work that we learn on our mat, we take it out into the world, off the mat. Let's wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Good, maybe a big stretch if you like. When you're ready, roll over onto one side. Either side, doesn't matter. Take a couple breaths there. Use your strong arms and nice and slow, come all the way up to seated. So sitting comfortable on a blanket, on a block, on a cushion. If you're sitting cross-legged, always try to have the hips higher than the knees and that nice curve in the low back. So the tailbone moves back slightly, heart lifts slightly, belly pulls in and up slightly. So we're nice and strong and sturdy and stable. So start to feel the breath. Let those shoulders relax down, neck grows long. We ground down through the seat, grow tall up through the neck, through the spine, through the top of the head. I hope you enjoyed the class. Stay in this moment. Everything tries to pull you out of the present, out of the now. But try to just stay in the moment and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it holds. We'll bring the palms together, thumbs at the heart. Namaste.